You walked into the room to solve a problem, but you walked out apologizing for a mistake you didn't even make. In less than 3 minutes, the entire narrative flipped. Suddenly, they're the ones in tears, and your attempt to address a broken promise becomes proof that you are the problem. You're not crazy, and you're definitely not alone. You've just been pulled into a psychological game where the rules change the moment you start to win. This is the hidden world of the chronic blamer. People who use blame not just as a habit, but as a survival strategy. A strategy that drains your energy and hijacks your peace. If you're someone constantly walking on eggshells, trying to keep the peace, this is for you. Because today, we're not just exposing the behavior, we're breaking down the psychology behind it and giving you the tools to take your power back. To understand this behavior, you have to look deeper than the drama. In psychology, this is tied to something called an external locus of control. Imagine your life is a ship. Most people believe they are the captain, so when things go wrong, they adjust course. But a chronic victim, they believe they're just a helpless passenger. The world is against them. The storm is unfair, and every problem is someone else's fault. But here's where it gets deeper. For most people, making a mistake feels uncomfortable, but it doesn't destroy who they are. For a chronic blamer, it does. Because in their mind, I made a mistake instantly becomes I am a mistake. That's the difference between guilt and shame. And when shame takes over, accountability feels like a threat to survival. So the brain builds armor. This armor has 3 layers. The first is projection. Instead of holding their guilt, they throw it onto you. The liar calls you dishonest. The unreliable one calls you careless. They rewrite reality just to escape themselves. The second layer is denial. Reality becomes optional. That never happened. You're remembering it wrong. And here's the dangerous part. Sometimes they actually believe it because their brain blocks anything that threatens their identity. The third layer is cognitive dissonance, the conflict between I'm a good person and I just did something wrong. Instead of changing themselves, they changed the story. They were provoked, misunderstood, set up. And they repeat it until even you start questioning your own memory. But in today's world, this behavior has evolved. Now it wears a mask of awareness. They've learned the language of therapy, but they use it as a weapon. Suddenly, you're not expressing concern, you're gaslighting. You're not asking for accountability, you're triggering trauma. You're not protecting your peace, you're abandoning them. And just like that, they take the moral high ground. You become the villain, they become the victim. And the conversation ends before it even begins. They also play the yes but game. You offer solutions, they reject every one. Because they don't want resolution, they want attention, they want validation, they want an audience. And they never forget. They keep an archive of wrongs. Every mistake, every argument, every moment you fell short, stored and ready to be used against you. But now we need to ask the real question. Why do you stay? If you're highly empathetic, you might be trapped in what's called the toxic compassion trap. You believe if you just love them enough, help them enough, sacrifice enough, they'll finally change. But they won't, because your constant rescuing is the very thing keeping them stuck. Every time you fix their chaos, you reinforce it. This is the truth most people avoid. You cannot save someone who is comfortable being broken. So, how do you break free? Step 1. Recognize the pattern. Not every conflict means toxicity, but repeated behavior is a signal. Step 2. Set boundaries. You are not their therapist. You are not their emotional punching bag. And you are not responsible for fixing their life. Step 3. Use the gray rock method. Become emotionally neutral. No reactions, no arguments, no emotional energy. Just simple responses like, okay, I understand. That sounds difficult. Because without your reaction, their control disappears. In professional situations, stick to facts. No emotion, no defensiveness, just clarity. Because facts don't argue, they expose. And when they try to dump responsibility on you, ask this. I hear you, but what steps are you taking to solve it? That question does something powerful. It gives empathy without surrendering control. And here's what you need to remember. Walking away is not losing. It's choosing peace. You cannot argue someone into self-awareness if they are committed to misunderstanding you. The moment you stop playing their game is the moment you start winning your life back. You are not responsible for their healing. You are not responsible for their story. To anyone who has spent years playing the role of the exhausted rescuer, it is officially time to resign from a job you were never qualified for. You are not responsible for their healing, and you certainly aren't responsible for their story. And if you're watching this and realizing that you might be the one stuck in a victim mindset, remember this. Your past pain might be entirely valid, but your healing is your absolute responsibility. Taking off the armor is terrifying, but it's the only way forward. Thank you for being here with us today. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.